All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Avasam's latest webinar for September on our supply showcase for Peak. We are just going to give it's 4 o'clock, but we're going to give it a couple of minutes before we kick off, just to give enough people enough time to enter the room and log in and the like. So Matt and I are here. We'll kick off in probably about a minute. All right. Should we kick off?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. Good stuff. Well, welcome, guys. Really good to be back on and ready for Q4 and Peak. We've got an hour session today. My name is Mustafa Kambay. I'm Chief Revenue Officer at Avasam, leading the growth strategy. And I'm joined by my colleague, Matt Franklin here. Little bit of... Oh, sorry, I just got a ping here. There we go. We're spending the next hour really giving a bit of a background on Avasam and our team and us. Matt's going to then take over and provide a bit of an update on latest e-commerce trends. It's post-COVID, post-lockdown. There's been a lot of challenges that our suppliers and sellers have been seeing, and we're going to go into some of the trends there and how what we have on our catalog and what we've been working on with onboarding suppliers. What it means for sellers, some of the great products that we've got, and making sure you're set up in the best way in your stores, in your marketplaces to be able to maximize the peak opportunity coming through in October, November, and December. We've also made some really step changes in the way products are displayed in our catalog, how you can search the catalog, and some of the marketing that we've been doing. So without further ado, bit of background on me. My background's been in tech marketplaces. I've been with Avasam for a couple of years now. We have been building our partner ecosystem over the last year. We've got some exciting partnerships with OnBuy, BigCommerce, Wish, and new marketplaces coming up. And similarly, we've been building up our supplier relationships. I'll give a little bit of background about Avasam, but before I do so, here's over to Matt and where areas he's been working on.
Hi, so I'm the head of trading and supplier partnerships for Avasam. I've been around for about a year now. Started off bringing the new products on and new suppliers onto the business. My background is mainly been in retail. I've spent the last 35 years working for several retail companies, including Dixon Stores Group, Ideal World, which is a TV shopping channel, and a mail order catalogue company. I'm now involved in marketplaces and really coming up with a strategy of not only just bringing the product in, but what to do with the product and when. So hopefully you'll see some new things today and some new innovation.
Great. Lovely to have you on, Matt. Okay, so just a little bit of background about Avasam for those of you who may not have come across us before. We are aiming to be Europe's only multi-channel dropshipping marketplace. We connect product suppliers, as Matt mentioned, that we've onboarding, all UK verified suppliers with professional online sellers, and we facilitate what we call stockless retail fulfillment, also known as dropshipping. Dropshipping, broad term, dropshipping can be used to set up marketplace businesses, or it can be even used to run large businesses or large catalogs for online retailers with their own systems. We've created our platform so that sellers can access our inventory with no upfront storage and no upfront purchases, storage charges, and they can sort of sell them to a diverse seller base. We have a fully automated platforms from how you can integrate your sales channels to list your products with one-click listing, to then be able to how that all translates to being dispatched. If there is an issue, then you can manage the refunds, returns, and any support issues as well. So we try and make sure it's as seamless as possible for you to make sure that you can then add dropshipping inventory into your storefronts and expand your range. We've been working really closely with suppliers and sellers to activate early stage sellers to be able to have them with live inventory in their store. But also what we've been focusing on is online retailers who have sizable businesses and growing businesses to enable them to be able to expand their inventory, test new products, and be able to sort of grow their range. A little bit today, we'll be giving data on our catalog, aggregated data across our platform. We won't be sharing any seller-specific information. A lot of industry trends and what we've been able to pick up from our suppliers and what they'd love to share to be able to give a real deep dive on some of those new products that are coming through to enable you really to be able to market them in the best way and position them from a price perspective as well. We'll go into that detail now. Then if you want to we're going to have a Q&A session right at the end. If there's any specific questions you'd like, if there's any burning questions you like, the chat is also open. So you can ping a couple of chats through, we'll pick them up, and then we can raise them either as we go through. You can also, I think, raise your hand if you've got a question to work through. Webinar is going to be recorded. We're going to mail this out afterwards, and we'll also send a copy of the slides. So don't worry if you don't get a chance to capture all the information. We'll be sending that through subsequently, and you can even watch it later. Great. Good stuff. Without further ado then, Matt, I'll hand it over to you to give us a bit of an overview of what's been happening in the last 3 months.
Okay. So no surprises here. The first slide is just around what's happening in the retail landscape and how the stock has been impacted with suppliers, and what's happening out there is quite soul destroying at the moment. We've obviously come out the back of a COVID situation and straight into more problems. Some of those are linked to COVID. So that impact is all about supply and demand of containers, and the cost of those containers then when the supply is there, and at the moment it's not, and that's mainly because some of the ports are closing. So over the last couple of months, we've seen, because of COVID outbreaks, Ningbo and the South China ports close. And what that's doing is it's creating a problem with the containers are now going up in price. So the scariest figure that I think I saw over the last couple of months is $22,000 for a 40-foot container. And if you go back, 2 years before COVID, that was around about $1,500. So you can tell quite quickly how prices of products are going to go up. And that's before we even take into consideration the problems we've got at the moment with the lorry haulage with products coming out of Europe, which is also causing problems. And even as local as, the petrol issues today causing traffic issues around London and the M25. A result of all of this is on average, we're seeing prices increasing year on year by about 27 to 30%. So what we're going to go through in this session, actually, it's not all doom and gloom. Avasam's been working extremely hard with suppliers to try and get some deals, whereas maybe there's a shortage of product out in the market. Doesn't mean that there's a shortage of deals. We've just got to go hunting for them. So we are bringing on new suppliers and brands all the time, and it's all exciting. So we're doing gap analysis all the time in terms of what you guys and the sellers are looking for on the channel. We can see all the search terms, and I'll come on to that a little bit later on in the presentation. It's really just understanding what the sellers are looking for and what the trends are at the moment, taking information from the various sources that we've got in the market, sourcing those suppliers and getting those products loaded as quickly as possible, with all the right information around it, because it's important that the product information is key. We recognize that. So making sure that we've got the descriptions, the full copy, various images to get across the product. And really what we'll come on to later on in the presentation as well is not just taking that information and put it onto the Avasam platform, is how we're communicating that out to all the sellers, and when are we communicating that out to the sellers. So I think this will be a bit of an eye opener for hopefully a lot of you out there, and certainly for me it's interesting to be in the middle of this kind of innovation.
Yeah, I think really good point, Matt, you mentioned. As the supply chains got a lot of challenges coming through, costs are going up, and we're only going to see that increase. Some suppliers may not have increased their prices yet. Some may be looking to make those price increases over the next couple of months, or especially into January. And I think for sellers, anything that they can have that is advantage to them, gives them a competitive advantage, a benefit, will help make sure that they can price the products in the best way. And I think what we found with our platform and drop shipping in that way means that there's one less shipping cost there, where you haven't had to take that shipping cost, put it into your warehouse, your warehousing cost, that can all add to the price. And if you can take that and put it back into the price of the product to make it competitive, to try and get more orders, and then we've been able to negotiate those discounts with our suppliers, all of this can help our sellers win in the marketplace and capture more of those orders. So really keen to sort of see how that sort of comes into some of the products that you've picked for today.
Yep.
And how that can help sellers.
Yep.
Cool.
So I think just to highlight the state of play at the moment on Avasam is that this is a great slide in terms of showing the brands that are on the channel, on the platform at the moment. And 34 new suppliers have been launched over the recent months. I think just shows how active we are in terms of creating a portfolio of product that works all year round. And I think that's really important, you know, that we're not just a seasonal business. We're looking for suppliers that the product's trending every single day of every single week of every single month. And that's up for us to sort of like get the information from the market and see which categories are working and help promote those categories at the right time. But I mean, I think it's really exciting to see this many brands all under one roof. I really do. I think it's a great mix of brands over many categories, and I think it's a pleasure to see all of those all on one page. And I know we're doing some work in the background that actually will make this a lot more obvious on the site as well. So you'll be able to find it a lot easier. If you're interested in Braun, or if you're interested in Mudstopper or JCB, then actually you'll be able to search for those brands very quickly.
Great. Well, lovely to see some household brands since we last presented this. So those sellers that are online are going to see some nice household ones coming through, and also some new innovative ones coming through,
Yep.
which we're going to be presenting on.
Yep.
Great.
So we're going to start off with that message that I gave right at the very beginning in terms of how difficult it is to bring in product from international countries, China and India, for example. Actually bringing it all the way back home, and actually talking about a supplier that I've worked with for probably more than 10 years now. A well-established leading UK manufacturer of chemicals, established over 10 years ago, based up in sunny Wigan. And basically they're experts in manufacturing product under licensed brand. They've got several brands. We're fortunate to have some of their key products. They're a major as seen on TV supplier. As I said, I've worked with them over many years. I know what works. And some examples of some of the core products that we're looking at the moment include the weed killer, one of their strongest products. And especially at this time of year where we're getting still a really healthy mix of sunshine and rain, the weeds are still coming through. It's a real core product. It sells most of the year round, and it's extremely well positioned in terms of the pricing on the platform. Next to that is what I call an essential, and it's basically, from a seller point of view, you shouldn't really care whether you sell any product. I think it's important to have those those kind of products that you would see if you walked into a petrol station, and these would be the products that would be on the till side. It's the product that you can almost add to any basket. And microfiber cloths are multi-use cloths that work extremely well as dusters or cleaners with other chemicals. We've got a pack of 20, and the difference with these is they're ultra thick and they're large in size. They're 40 centimeter by 40 centimeter. And as I say, they're a main product that any seller should have in their range, to be honest. And then some gift ideas. So Top Gear comes on and off our channels every year. Personally, I think the last series has been one of the best in terms of the brand. This just gives an example of this particular supplier. Not only are they in garden and car care, they're also in pets. They're in PPE, so they've got some product for cleaning any surfaces, and also they've gone into men's gifting. So is a little bit of fun, but it's a nice pack, a 4-pack of under the Top Gear brand with a stick on the front. So yeah, I mean, I've selected this company because they're supporting the channel, the platform at the moment. They've got 10% off up until tomorrow, so you've got to be quick to that. But this is the first promotion. We're going to get more promotions and more products from this supplier. Very active supplier, and they've got good products all year round.
Great. Well, 079, and I think a good ancillary accessory item to sort of put in, and looking at the price points, really strong profit potential there as well.
Yeah. Next supplier is a real key supplier, and another one based in the UK, not made in the UK. They're based in the UK. They're a wholesaler of doormats and rugs and other homewares products, and an amazing selection of doormats for indoor and outdoor, and have basically a portfolio of retailers that they work with. Means that they're buying in bulk from the factories, which means that we get access to some really attractive prices. So I've selected 3 products. The first product is the All Seasons doormat. That doormat is a rubber base, and then it has interchangeable coir inserts, suitable for any time of the year. So there's a spring, summer, autumn, winter image. Really competitive in price. This supplier is currently supporting us at the moment up until I think the middle of October, with up to 40% off their Avasam prices. So you know, a supplier that's obviously in their peak at the moment. They're coming up with some innovation. It's not just the basic doormat. There are plenty of designs. The new product that I'm showing there is an example of that. So this is a festive doormat which has got LED and lights on there. So when you step on it, it's playing you "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." That's not going to get irritating with the kids. I don't know what is, but that product's brand new into us. That will be live, I think, during the next couple of days. So there's a real opportunity to sell that product at peak time, as we are at the moment. And then they've got other items which are more indoor use of their mats, where you've got washable mats with slogans on them. So some fun doormats with some other designs that are available as well. And that is an absolutely insane Avasam price at $4.99. I really cannot believe you can get a doormat at that size with that quality at that price. It is absolutely ridiculous. But the quality's there. They're a known supplier into multiple retailers, including some of the biggest homewares retailers in the country. So a real one to keep an eye on.
Great. And these particular products, we've seen them in a lot of retail outlets as well. They fly off the shelves in wholesale, large retailers, and very good quality products. So and it just adds a great looking accessory item again into your storefront. Great.
Right, so homewares. So this is a fairly new supplier onto the platform, and this is where we get excited, because we're now not just talking about mirrors. We're talking about mirrors that are suitable for any room of the house. And you know, a mirror used to be just something that you stared into in the hallway, and it was just a plain mirror. And now you can see from the pictures below that actually that's just not the case anymore. So the special nature of this supplier is not only are they an extremely large distributor of mirrors, they've got 35,000 products in stock at the moment, but they also own one of their logistics company, which is really unusual. But I guess when you're involved in mirrors, the last thing you want is the product to be delivered by oh God, am I going to say this out loud? Hermes or someone else similar to Hermes, where you find that product's been dropped or thrown in the middle of a van or chucked over a garden gate. So I think it's really important to have this kind of product delivered in a way that it's always going to get to your customer in the right condition. And just to prove a point, I actually got a mirror delivered here today that arrived today, and believe it or not, it's arrived in perfect condition. And you can see from the size, this is a mirror delivered today into the office, perfect in packaging, suitable packaging. So yeah, I mean that's the benefit of this particular supplier. It's something unusual to get a distributor actually distributing all the way to the end customer. The three products I put in front of you, the autumn bestseller. Well, I haven't seen many of these before, but it's outdoor mirrors are becoming very popular. In fact, 4 out of our top 5 mirrors that we're selling on the platform at the moment are garden mirrors. So it gives you an idea that these are being used to outside uses. Obviously, in the last couple of years where COVID's been in force, we've spent more money outside in our gardens, creating outdoor living areas, and I think this is a perfect product. Yep. And then you go into more like gifting products. So there's an example of the heart shape collage mirror. Again, a strong price point. I think suitable for any seller that's selling homewares. And then just to prove a point that we've got some prices out there that are really attractive. The lowest price mirror out there, which is still a 70 centimetre by 60 centimetre almost mirror, at £37.43 cost. So, and all of those prices are free postage as well, which is absolutely incredible. I think there's a real opportunity with this particular supplier and the amount of SKUs that they've got on the platform, and whether they're gifts or whether they're for a certain room or even outside. I think a brilliant opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, something here is, as you mentioned, there's so many SKUs that this is not a category that you'd probably want to stock and hold inventory of. They can be trending, they can change. There's lots of different variations and sizes. So being able to drop ship or source and list these products effortlessly from the catalog makes sense.
I think just having the security of them then owning their own logistics company and having that security that mirror, there's such a thing called a leaky bucket in most businesses where you just lose money from not having the right agreements with courier companies, or you don't, or you just have damage on arrival. And I think them taking ownership for the dispatch of the goods, I think is incredible. And I say I don't know many other companies that do it.
Great.
He's an interesting company, Prime Hide as a brand. They're a well-established company out there, and they've come on board this year. They're involved in high-end quality goods, all the way from sort of the basic credit card purse, all the way through to gym bags and travel bags. And I guess the reason why I've put these guys forward is, even though they're new onto the channel, in August they were listed over 10,000 times, and I think it's got to be one of the biggest listings that I've seen in the last couple of months, in terms of how many people have really bought into this brand. The quality of the products are brilliant. I've been very fortunate in my past to see the products firsthand. They're one of the suppliers into major retailers, and not just into this category. Actually, in the coming months, they're also going to be launching a range of clothing on the channel on the platform as well. So we're going to start seeing hopefully some of the clothing from these guys as well, all sourced from approved and vetted factories. The 3 products on there are some of the best top tips that we've got. So the top seller, it does come in other colors, not just the fuchsia color. At $12.95 is just insane price for a leather handbag. And then we've got a leather wallet. RFID is I think is quite important. It just means that your credit cards can't be scanned. So it's quite a big issue, especially come Christmas time, where I've seen it happen where someone takes almost a copy of your digital data off your cards and then clones it and then starts using it. And this is a big part of fraud. And these products have been around for a little while now, but they're now becoming almost sort of like standard in these kind of products. And so you've got a security story here, as well as a functional story about what the product was designed to do in terms of the quality. And then from a leather travel holder, and as I say, this supplier has got a wide range of products listed, you know, from a couple of pound all the way up to £100 or so. Really strong price point for this quality. And I urge you to go onto the platform and just have a look at the imagery on this particular brand and just see how good the quality is. Yeah, I don't think the customers will be disappointed when they receive these. And again, a great opportunity for the next coming months in terms of gifting. Yeah,
and we've seen quite a few sites that have started sourcing this range, as you say, 10,000 times. When you see the output, it, if I use the word, premiumizes your site really quickly, because it's a very high quality product, looks really good, great for gifting as well. And if you're looking to sort of start a new category, then you can really lend into that quite easily. And then you may, you know, decide to source another one after a few months.
Yep.
Great. This is packaging.
Packaging, yeah. So not. What I'm not suggesting is, Mustafa, I'm not going to send you some tape for your Christmas present this year. I think that might be a bit mean.
That would be quite useful.
But I think we'd all agree that packaging and packaging materials is key at this time of year now. Whether you're involved in shipping out bottles, they've got packaging for bottles. They've got packaging suitable as one of those images shows in terms of getting through a letterbox. But they've also got some of like the more innovative products. Now, all of this is not the reason why I've put this forward. This company is a sustainable and responsible company, basically trying to adapt the zero waste story here. They're working with climate partners, and once again this week, climate gets to the top of the news stories in terms of what's happening in the planet. And I think it's important that we look to back some suppliers and products that have got these stories attached to them. And so the products, a lot of the products are 100% recyclable packaging. A lot of them are biodegradable and compostable. So there's some great stories here, and I love supporting a supplier that has got that mentality in terms of they're looking to the future, and especially someone so big as this company is, and with a range of products that, you know, in the past has been almost like a negative thing in terms of incremental packaging and packaging waste and causing problems for landfill. And so when you get to the point where you hear a story like this, I think you've got to back it. And as I say, go and have a look at the range that they've got. It's a wide portfolio of products that's suitable for most of the sellers, whether it's their customers are interested in buying packaging material or whether it's used for their own businesses. I know that we've pushed these products onto several other companies and wholesalers to use their products. And at the moment, until the 17th of October, they're also supporting up to 30% off. So there are a lot of products with savings on this range, and I think it's a really important message that we should be getting behind. Not just us, but I think it's a planet thing that we need to all get behind some of these opportunities.
Yeah, so sustainability is a big movement at the moment. And I think if we take what's happening in the landscape, there's a big shortage of board and packaging. So I think this is a great product. If you are a marketplace seller, even you've got good presence, good reliability. It's a great product to be able to sell from a wholesale perspective or to other sellers or online sellers, home sellers, curators. COVID has create an onslaught of new businesses and entrepreneurs, and they all will need packaging for their e-commerce businesses. So it's a great area to get into. And if you're doing a stationery business or supporting businesses, servicing businesses, other businesses, then it's a great product to add in.
Yeah. Sustainability. Great.
Do you want to take this one?
No, you can take this one.
All right, great, good stuff. Well, this is Matt's laughing because this is a new product that's brought on. It's a passion product area of mine as well. Leading on the sustainability side is within the food delivery space. Food delivery's seen a big uptake since, especially during COVID, with a lot of the food aggregators and delivery tech companies offering that to restaurants. And as restaurants have been closed or not being able to operate, they've really heavily relied on their delivery part of the business. Now, what does that mean is if plastic is being used, there's more single-use plastic going into the environment, which is not great for any of us. So there's a lot of offerings come out which enable restaurants to be able to use sustainable offerings. Their customers enjoy the experience better traveling with the food. This particular product, very, very innovative. I've got one of them here with me. It's got a patented technology on the edge, what's called a racetrack technology, which means when you close the product, or actually I should even do a live demo. I put some water into it, and when you close the product and seal it shut, it doesn't leak.
Oh, I thought you were going to put it over your head.
Oh, I can put it over the laptop even. But it doesn't leak, which means for food delivery, curries, hot-based products, it can be hot-filled, it can be put in the oven, it can put in the microwave, which means restaurants absolutely love it. It works better than, works just as well as plastic. And the price-wise, it's very competitive as well because it's imported directly. And there's a great wholesale price available to sellers here. So this would be if you have food products, or if you're servicing the restaurant market or food service market, or even the up and coming home chef market, which is really popular. It's a great product that can be sold. Now, the product's available on 6 SKUs, 500 ml, 650 ml, 750 ml, and 1000 ml rectangular boxes. And then for round, for salads and soups, etc., 750 and 1000 ml. There's packs of 100 for smaller restaurants or smaller home chefs. And for more wholesale, there's packs of 600 per case. So competitive pricing, good margin potential, but more around the sustainability piece and doing good for the environment.
Free postage as well.
Yeah, and all products are free postage, which for a product like this, which is very bulky, takes up a lot of space, it's something you don't want to be clogging up your warehouses with.
I can imagine that this is a dream for a load of students living in a home. They don't have to do any washing up. They can take the food on the go. I think it'd be perfect. Their takeaways can last for a couple of days. Wonderful.
Perfect. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Now brings us on to, I think, as Matt, you mentioned, we've got a lot of changes happening in the platform. So I'll take a breather here before we get into this, just to see if there's any questions that have come up from on the supplies that we presented. We can even skip back on the slide because we're doing quite well on time. We will have some questions coming up later, but just wanted to open it up to the audience to see if you had any specific questions on the supplies that we've presented before we go into the platform itself. Okay, so Andrew says, raise a question here. I would like to add different pricing rules for different product categories. I am on free subscription. So I think here we can, from I think it's more on a product basis, you can put a standard pricing rule in place in terms of when you set up the products, and you can have those sort of pricing rules happen so that price point always stays. Whether it's for categories or not, I think that's something we'll look into with the team. But at the moment, we don't have that functionality. But it's a good point, actually, because we do see certain categories offering different margin potential, such as jewelry, and some of the more premium categories. There is a bit more of a margin potential there. That would probably make it easier in terms of setting that through. Typically, you can set your key margin rules as the price point of the product changes. You can apply it through in that way. Another question that's come through from Rich here is Supplier 101 has 35,000 products and they have a vast range of SKUs. but they can only currently see 51 SKUs. So I think, Matt, that's one that you've been working pretty heavily on in terms of getting more SKU representation.
Yeah, I think so. So that particular supplier, if you there is 51 SKUs, but 51 SKUs have got some size variations within there. The 35,000 that I referenced was 35,000 units of stock that they've got in their UK warehouse. So they've got, unlike the story that I told right at the very beginning in terms of struggling to get product in from China. They're sitting on stock at the moment. So what I mean is there's 51 SKUs at the moment with different sizes. That stock is available in the UK. We don't have to worry about it. So you can sell that product with confidence, or source it with confidence, that we're not going to run out of stock just yet. And it's going to be an important story for the coming 6 months or so, that supply is going to be up and down. So on this particular supplier, they're very confident that they've got the majority of products in stock and they've got enough stock to help support our businesses. So I think that's the story I want to give on that side, on that mirror side, the mirror supplier.
Great. No, it makes sense. And I think a lot of the products, we sort of testing them through, see that initial traction. We also get obviously the top trending items as well, because otherwise the catalog can become quite unsearchable as well. And that leads into Neil's question here in terms of how many SKUs do we have in total. So I think we overall have over 20,000 SKUs. We're always adding more inventory on. The question becomes, our catalog is always changing because it's what's in stock, what's new products coming on board as well as we try and refresh it. We also try and filter it from a margin potential to make sure what we offer is curated to some degree, where it's trending. The criteria that we use, it's trending. We're seeing sales coming through and sales potential. We're seeing good margin potential from that as well. It has stock depth, but also feedback from our suppliers as well. And that's what Matt's been doing a lot of over the last few months, is really engaging with our suppliers, finding out what they're finding selling, bringing that into the platform and making sure what you see in terms of top of mind, top of line, as you search that catalog, is current, to make it easier for you to source as well.
We're going to share some data with you, or some information with you in a couple of slides time, in terms of the kind of products that we're looking at the moment. And I can share with you, some of the ideas we've got. One of the suppliers that we're looking to unlock in the next couple of weeks, in the region of 34,000. Now, this is 34,000 SKUs. So this is individual products. Now, not all of them are going to be suitable for the UK. But these are the kind of suppliers that we're now bringing on with that many products. One you'll see this week, which is over 2,000 products in their range. So we're ramping up quite dramatically at the moment in terms of the portfolio of products.
Great. And thanks, Neil. Thanks for being a big fan as well. Hopefully some of the information helps. Andrew's another good question there. Why are some of the products not available to list on Amazon and eBay? And one of the reasons is many of our brands have their own storefronts and presence and managing that channel. So the beauty of Avasam is that, you can control it obviously in different suppliers can see which channels that they want to list it. Some suppliers are saying it's fine, it can go in whichever channel because they don't have their own Amazon or eBay storefront. Others do manage their own eBay, Amazon storefront, and they want to ensure they can maintain that level of price confidence and price stability, but they're more than happy on direct channels, as it would be with any wholesaler selling at wholesale and a retailer listing their products, to be able to work it through in that way. And we make sure we manage that to help the brand control as well.
And it's funny you mentioned Prime Hide, Andres, because that is one supplier that I'm negotiating with at the moment to give us the freedom to sell to eBay, or through eBay. So that we're constantly liaising with the suppliers and trying to understand what the blocks are and releasing those blocks.
Great questions. I think that was good dialogue. From the platform perspective, it's super easy. We made it even easier over the last few months to source, and where possible, where we've got the integrations to be able to list as well. You'll see some of the improvements with some of the recent channel partners that made that functionality even slicker and quicker. The piece that we've been working really hard on is how those products can be surfaced to you even better, so that you can find them quickly, easily, both if you're searching the catalog or if you're not in the catalog, then how we can make you aware of them. And these are some of the step change initiatives that we've got there. And Matt's going to show you a little bit of how to navigate when you're in the platform.
Yeah, so I think the key one for the sellers is what we want to do is we're being proactive now. So we're doing all this hard work. We're going to find out the trends. We're looking at what you're searching for on the site and using that to help build the campaigns going forward. So there's a promotional plan that we've got, which I'll share with you in a few slides time. But to give you an idea of, this is the homepage that you will see. You'll now notice that the text buzzboard that we had at the top has now changed into more a graphic, and you can follow that graphic through, and it goes to the products within that particular category. So Get Set for Christmas is a main one at the moment. There's also a Halloween one. So if you click on those big graphics at the top under the main headline promotion, you'll go just to those product categories. And then underneath that, you'll see where we've got the minis. So they're mostly the new suppliers that we've brought on board, or where a supplier is giving us a promotion. So the two examples of the promotions are the 10% discount on the car cleaning side, and the up to 40% discount on the doormats. And then something that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks is a pick of the week. So this gives you a reason to come back every single week on a Monday and see a product that should be either a very good deal or even a very good deal and exclusive to Avasam. I'm going to be pushing that all products in the pick of the week are going to be exclusive or an exclusive deal with Avasam. It gives you a real reason why to come and source products through our platform. And I've got a team negotiating with vendors all the time and suppliers all the time to get the best deals. Again, not just the deal that's just a clearance product that no one wants, but actually a seasonally correct product. So the example on the sheet there is a pan set, because I know one of the top selling products on the platform has been a pan set for this year. But also, like, watches are on at the moment. So the Strond watches is an excellent watch and an excellent brand, and have been supporting us on that promotion. Then the seasonal trends, where we break down the big stories like Get Set for Christmas. You'll get the minis, which are gifts for him, gifts for kids. So it breaks it down into smaller stories. So if you're only interested in a certain category, the example would be pets, for instance. Pets is one of the top searched terms on the platform. You'll see that if you go onto the live seller page at the moment, you'll see on the right hand side gifts for pets. So it proves that we're listening to what you're saying and how you're searching through the platform, and we're hopefully going to make it easier for you to find the products that you're interested in, and make it easier to search through the platform's products, because eventually, if you get to the stage where it's hundreds of thousands of products on the platform, you want to be able to navigate that quickly and find the products that you're interested in.
Great. No, it makes me really happy to see this as well, and the progress made, really focusing on brands and the products there as well. And it's super, super easy. Like, you press one of these categories, they're already pre-filtered, hit select all, source, it's done. It's in your cart. Couple of questions here. So making it easier to list products on eBay, as we mentioned, the sourcing elements there. It's something that we are working on. So hopefully in the next coming months, we'll be able to give you a bit of an update there. We're always looking to improve our channel partner integrations with our partnerships there. Brand authorization letters from MZT Glam. That's something, we've got some contact details at the end. If there's anything you need there, you can get in touch with the team and we can help you there. And on printable products, not something we're looking at there because there's specific modules for that, and that's a specific segment. We're mainly focusing on branded products there with the UK verified suppliers that make that element there. So we haven't looked at custom products as yet, but it's something we will definitely take back to the team.
Mustafa, just a point on the brand authorization. We're taking that extremely seriously going forward. So I believe it's now a mandatory part of our onboarding of a supplier to have that documentation in one form or another. So yeah, I can see, I feel for some of the pain that some of the sellers are going through at the moment. But to be honest, it's been done for the right reason. It's to stop an awful lot of fake product getting into the market. So we're supporting it. We'll find a way of communicating it in a more efficient way to show where those letters are being held, and what authorization we've got to support the sellers.
Yeah. And as we move to many more brands on the platform, it enables you to be able to sell those brands with confidence.
Yeah.
Great.
I've referenced this a couple of times at the moment, but I thought it's just nice to share some of the internal information that we get to see. So I'm recording every week all of the top searches, or all of the searches. Some of them are a little bit risque, and if you're under 18, please turn away and cover your ears. But it gives you an example of the kind of things that has been searched for at the moment on the platform. And as I say, we take it really seriously. I'm personally looking at this to help us schedule the promotions and picking up on trends that are happening. We've also got other technology on the website that basically creates a heat map whenever someone clicks on one of the minis or one of the buttons or one of the search terms. So we're gaining all this information, and that's what's helping us put forward the portfolio of products and searching for the right products that are wanted. I won't go into too much detail into certain other categories, but obviously pets and dogs have been a key favourite.
Yeah, great. We've got a couple of questions coming through. What I'll do is we'll take them at the Q&A session at the end. Keep them coming through. We'll work them through. Great. Feature emails. These are looking good. So this is something else that we've implemented recently. So this is moving away from where we used to just send you an email when we brought on a new supplier and maybe talk about an individual single product. We've now got a plan where every month all the sellers will receive a newsletter. And the newsletter is more a pictorial newsletter about a key story. So Get Set for Christmas, for example, it has a little bit of a banner at the top. It explains why we think this is a key story at the moment. And then it's followed up, rather than just one product, it's followed up by multiple categories. So the whole idea is that you can see what we're thinking that you need in the coming months in terms of sourcing product. So for example, this would have been decoration, gifts. It would have been a Christmas table, and it would have been toys and puzzles, and they would have been all individual categories. So it gives you a bit of a flavour of what the theme of the month is going to be. And then, as I say, every week we'll have a new supplier email, and then we'll have a product email, which is a bit more specific in terms of the story. So Christmas will be broken down into individual key stories, which I'll cover on the next slide or two. Great. Yeah, they're looking really good, and I think keep an eye out for them. I know inbox is probably a flurry of emails at the moment as well, but these are like the hand-picked ones that really come through, and then there's a lot of supporting categories within this. Great.
So this is what Q4 looks like for us. So you can see that across the top there's weekly pick of the weeks. So every week there's a reason for you to come back onto the platform. We also re-index every single week. So we look at what's working, what's not working, and we move in the if you do go into the search bar, we're constantly moving products around that we think you guys will be interested in sourcing. But you can see from sort of like an August point of view, there was we focused in on autumn, back to school, back to uni. There was autumn gardening and autumn clothing. Then we're currently in Christmas mode, so Get Set for Christmas, and then we have the gifts for. So there's an email that's be coming out this week, which is gifts for. So it'll go into a bit more detail about some of the top gifts that we're recommending that you source out of the platform. We've done a gift wrapping and packaging email already this month, And I think next week is festive table. So that's everything linked with festive cooking, whether it's small domestic appliances, table linen, and anything to do with cooking for that festive period in time. Then winter is almost upon us. So we've got Get Set for Winter, we've got clothing, we've got de-icers, we've got ice scrapers, we've got boot grips, we've got Wellingtons, boots, thermals, heated blankets, you name it for winter, we've got it. So watch out for those emails. We've got a Get Fit for Winter, which is not just about exercise, it's about a well-being. So we'll have things in as well as vitamins and supplements. We've also got satellites in there as well, as massaging and, as I say, heated blankets and those kind of things. New Year, New You will be coming up very soon, which will be linked to hobbies. A fantastic new supplier on board where we've got a range of musical instruments. So you can either have that for gifting or ready for the new year. So your New Year's resolution in terms of learning to play the guitar or drums. We'll have those in for you. And then obviously the fitness and the healthy eating side of the new year. And then right at the bottom, we've got Black Friday. So we're looking to launch a Black Friday promotion in the middle of this month. In the middle of October. And that promotion should be, every product in that promotion will have a discount on there. And that's what we're working on at the moment to make sure that you guys and the sellers have got some opportunities to promote products, even though we're in a position where, as I say, right at the very beginning of the webinar, is that times are tough at the moment, and we can only see prices increasing. We're still pushing hard to try and get some deals to encourage sales going through your business.
Perfect. Well, busy period. I think main takeaway is get into the platform, start getting familiar with the products, start seeing which categories that will work for you. First 2 weeks of October, critical to get those products sourced and listed, so that you can then start obviously maximizing your traffic, your ad spend, your blog posts, etc., to that traffic to be able to pick up those sales from mid-October to closing into the end of November and beginning of December.
And just make sure that you're freeing up those emails to come through, because, as I say, all these key stories are going to come through as emails. So make sure they're not going into your spam folder. And if you're not signed up, make sure you're signed up to receiving those emails. They're absolutely critical in terms of understanding what's going on. And then from a Q4 point of view, I just want to do, I'm not going to share the names of companies, but there are an awful lot of, I've mentioned there's 34 suppliers that we've brought on board over the last few months. But this kind of tell you that there's more to come, and there's a lot more to come. And it kind of tells you that, I know the formatting's gone maybe a little bit awry on this one slide, but we're already looking ahead to next year with more products coming through the garden category. Home and garden are joined together at the moment, but they won't be soon. They'll be split apart. And that's because garden is a real core category for a lot of the sellers. So we want to hone into that category, bring on more garden machinery. I've got some exciting news, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, about garden machinery coming on board, and I mean brands coming on board in terms of the top selling brands. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to have some live plants on the channel as well. So the whole story of garden will come to life for everyone at the beginning of next year. But yeah, constantly working with suppliers at the moment. We've got a great pipeline of suppliers coming through the channel, and it will continue while we grow the business.
Great, exciting times. Really excited. Actually, the beauty one itself has got some really good brand products coming through this, especially with the gifting season. Just a couple of questions before we go into our poll. Gary and Rich raised some good points around pricing, and that's one of the ones, Lucas, you may be aware of from the support side. Some of you may have already interacted with. we've got some pricing rule updates happening in the next release as well. So keep a lookout for that. But at the moment, it's overall or category specific. And from a stock perspective, that's something we're always very conscious of. So from a filtering perspective, making sure what actually is on the platform and comes through, but also we ensure some of those fast moving goods, as you mentioned, Rich, have some of the sufficient buffers in to make sure that you're not overselling, which, the stock sync is pretty slick between 20 minutes, so that there should minimizes that actually happening anyway because of the way the platform works and how you work it through. But we also try and ensure that there's those relevant buffers there to prevent that. Great. We are at the end. Before I get to the last details, I mean, Matt, thank you so much for getting into that detail. Super insightful. I think it's the first time we've gone into so much depth with each of our suppliers and actually brands. And I think it just definitely helps bring these bright brands alive, go into some of the specific product pricing, but also now how our sellers can go into the platform, log in, super easy to search and start looking at the comms, either sign up to the WhatsApp group if you haven't already. Our team's always pinging the latest updates there, as well as in the emails to make sure you can sort of check in. So just do check in every day because there's always something new happening. We've got a couple of questions for you before we wrap up now. So I'm going to move it over to our polls. And we've got about 3-4 questions that we'd love to hear from you on, which will help us as we get these suppliers on board and we look for new brands. So I'm going to start the poll, and I think you can just literally answer it on your side. We'll move to them pretty swiftly. But the first one is on price range. And question is, do you look for products in a particular price range? So do you look for less than £20? We've seen a lot of orders in the past. Or do you try and up tier it to make more margin? So 20 to 50 or 50 to 100. I'll give a couple of minutes there for you to respond. All right, 50 to 100. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It'd be depending on whether the sellers are aiming at a gift market rather than products that are used just by households. I mean, I know that a lot of the sellers are involved in pets and garden, and to be honest, I think there's going to be a real big opportunity going forward, hopefully with garden machinery, especially as it moves again towards more of the technology that's coming through, the battery-powered technology, which is easy to use, easy to sell. Returns are much lower than the old petrol. They don't need any servicing or very little servicing. Yeah.
Well, the popular category there was 20 to 50 pounds, which I think, and if we reflect back on some of the suppliers that we presented there, quite a few suppliers hitting above that mark into the £100 mark as well. So hopefully you'll be able to find some good products there. And it makes sense, I guess, where a lot of effort to try and drive traffic. So you want to convert it at a good order value. Okay, next question is about shipping. And do you prefer the price to include shipping or it doesn't matter? So prefer shipping to be included, doesn't matter, or not sure?
I think this is another interesting one. In terms of, it depends on what you want to see, how easy you want it to be visible in terms of your total margin and how to work it out very quickly. And I think it depends on your messaging as a seller has got to their consumer. So if your strategy is to have free postage, which I know drives sales, I think it'd be important to include the postage in the cost of the product, and it makes it very obvious then how much margin and what you can sell it for.
Yeah, I think more and more people are expecting that, especially with dropshipping is being used more and more as part of online sales, because sometimes you can have over £100, but they could be coming from different locations, which gets very difficult to allocate that through. So I think being costed in and knowing it's been costed in is super useful.
Also, I think the previous question links back into that, doesn't it? In terms of the average retail price that we're looking at. If that's our average retail price is higher, then you can actually swallow that cost price in there a lot easier. Whereas if it's a sub £10 product, then it becomes very distorted very quickly.
Great. Yeah, no, exactly. This one's a good one in terms of Up the next one is, are there any products you would like to see on the platform that you haven't seen already? So for example, ladies fashion, live plants. Be interesting to see the shipping there as well. Technology, hobbies, or other. Live plants would be an interesting one. You're seeing more and more models coming through with super slick logistics that can actually do that and pack that very, very well.
Yeah, so a previous company I work with, actually, they send out the product in a box that can go through your letterbox. So it doesn't matter if you're in or out. It used to be a problem where, you know, occasionally you'd have a delivery, and if you weren't in, the plants could die within, on a hot day, a number of hours. But now there's the capability of sending out these, and you can buy fresh bouquets in sort of like a letterbox format as well. So I think packaging's come an awful long way, and you know, obviously we're involved with a supplier of packaging. So
hopefully that's sustainable, as I was going to say.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think our audience, hobbies is a good one, actually. Very, very good one. Very nice item to add in. Tech products, absolutely. And we've got some interesting developments happening in the background. And yeah, some people like the idea of live plants, and others will look at some of those responses that come through. Great. Last one, I think, before we wrap up. So, Paul, what is more important to you? The brand, the price, or that the products are only available exclusively to Avasam, on Avasam, and that you're sourcing and listing something very unique? Oof, shut up.
Right, I'll get the calculator.
Good stuff. Actually, yeah, exclusive on Avasam coming up a bit as well. It's interesting on the brand, let's say, because I think people like to be the experience or the wrapper of how they're selling it through. So I think
I'd like to say that obviously from a product point of view, I think we spend a lot of time vetting our suppliers anyway and making sure that the product is fit for purpose. So you know, brand, that was one of the differences with the brand and no brand is the quality of goods. And I think if you get the right partner to work with, and us being one of those partners, you know, we're constantly looking at the quality of the goods that we're sourcing. So brand becomes less important. The story becomes really important about what the product does and how important that product is at this particular time. And then what becomes really important is obviously the price. So yeah, exciting. Good answers.
Good stuff. Excellent. Well, thanks for the feedback, guys. Thank you, Matt, for sharing. I think we're going to make this a monthly occurrence. So keep it in your diaries. It's going to be the last week of the month, so that you can get ready for what's up and coming for the following month. And I think we've got one hopefully planned towards the end of October.
Yes.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. And thank you to our attendees. Great feedback, great questions. As I mentioned, deck and recording will be sent out in an email towards the end of the week in our great new newsletter that Matt mentioned as well. So make sure you open that and give it a read. And until next time, thank you very much.
Thank you.